I was so tired of writing down the math for real estate deals in the back of a napkin and then losing it or forgetting, or most importantly, losing the deal because I wasn't being smart enough with the money. I also got frustrated seeing all these real estate calculators out there with all these spreadsheets to make things more complicated. That was just a pain in the ass. I wanted to create something that put all my deals in one place, helped me quickly analyze rental properties, and more importantly, make sure I was analyzing the right way so I didn't lose out on good opportunities. And guess what? It works. Let me show it to you now. This is a property that I own in Texas, in Toole, Texas. It's a nice home on the lake. I'm adding a pool to it. It's going to become a great rental. I'm going to have a pontoon, a jet ski. I'm going to use it for my family, and I'm also going to rent it out. But before I did that, I wanted to make sure I did the numbers properly because I'm not the kind of guy who just wants to break even on real estate. That has no appeal to me. I want to make money. I want to buy more and more properties. I have a desire to have 5,000 or 10,000 apartments, but I also want to have 10 or 20 lake houses personally that I rent out constantly, but can use with my family whenever I want. So I made it very simple. First page, you enter your property information. You'll see this. Address, state, contact rules, all these things, very simple. Then you go to the next page, general information. How many units, appreciation rate, vacancies, purchase price, cost to sell, years of analysis, and any fees you have along the way. Now, there are more intricacies to this page, and I'll get into them in other videos, but the point is I wanted to keep it as simple, page to page, you input the data. Next thing, what's the income of the property? Break it down. You can add levels. If you buy an apartment building and you have 22 bedrooms, you put the number of units, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square feet, current rent, and market rent. Now, what's the difference in current rent and market rent? Well, current rent is what's currently in place. Market rent is what can you take it to, either on its own, by itself right now, or putting money into it. What does those things have to be? Right now, I have them at the same price because the house is brand new. So there's no upside potential in that kind of rent, okay? And then you can add your other rent, and I have pontoon boat and jet ski. Here's the revenue I expect from them. Very simple. If you want to add different incomes, you can add them and add the other ones along the way. Now, expenses. This is where everybody butchers it. Everybody does, well, I'll take 40% of the revenue. No, I like to break down the expenses specifically. Property taxes, management fees, leasing commissions, insurance, all the way down. And as you're inputting them, it's going to tell you your expenses total and your per unit. So you can keep track of that to understand. But look, let's say property taxes, I changed it to 2.5%. Boom, immediately changes up here. But in that area, it's actually 1.8%. Management fee, I change it from 8% to 10%. It changes immediately. These are the things that I love doing. And to understand more about these inputs, I have other videos for that we'll get to later. Because this is about showing you this tool. Whatever you put into it, it's going to spit it out. Okay, next thing, rehab. Well, guys, I'm going to put $400,000 into this house. It's a brand new house. You're like, what the heck are you doing? I'm putting a new pool and patio in. I'm putting furniture in. I'm buying a boat and I'm buying a jet ski. That's all money out of my pocket. Boom, 100% day one. So it's kind of like a capital expense. I'm doing that because I'm not borrowing to do that. I'm writing a check for it. So that's kind of like my day one investment in the thing. Mortgage. I got 80% loan to value. And guys, I actually got 5.125% interest. Now you might be wondering, how the hell did he get that? Well, I get preferential rates from my bank, and it's a 15-year lock on a 30-year amortization. And I'm doing a refinance. Why is a refinance important? Well, if you want to refinance every so often, don't you want to know how much money is coming in? That's part of how you calculate returns. Every so often you refinance a property, you get equity out of it to go do somewhere else. That's all a discounted cash flow model is. There are so many tools out there, won't even let me do a refinance. It'll just sit there and say, well, do it until your first refinance or sell the property. I'm like, wait a second. What if I want to own this property for 50 years? I want to refinance it every 7 years. I have to sit there and put it in there so I can see that cash flow coming in. So I put that all in there and then I hit the recap report. And it's basically going to show me my 1 to 20 year analysis. If I put 30 years, it'll put 30 year analysis. Revenue, expenses, net income, the mortgage payments, the cash flow. Now you'll see here a big negative on cash flow. Remember, we had the $400,000 invested day one. That's included in that cash flow. Value of the property, mortgage balance, etc. Now I also picked an interest-only mortgage for the first 5 years of the deal. It allows me to make sure I do the property right before I start paying down debt. And at 5.125, I want interest only. That's such a low rate. I will gladly take that all day. Plus, with 20% down payment plus another $400,000 invested, I'm not worried about being upside down in the property. I only owe $1.5 million in a house that is probably worth 2.3 or 2.4 after putting more money into it. That's what's key there. Okay, now to get my returns, I go to IRR, view IRR. And here's what's great about this. It tells you immediately cash flow year zero. That's the money you buy the property, you put $400,000 down. Year two, year one, full year, you have cash flow plus you put $400,000 in as my rehab. Here's the value of the property, mortgage balance, and it goes year by year by year. Remember I said in year 7, we refinanced the property? Look at that big check. $871,000. Previous year was $135,000, the next year is $90,000. Because the property then is worth $2.9 million. So I can refinance it and get 80% of that to $2.4 million. I only owe $1.5 million. So it takes me to $2.3 million. I get that big difference in cash in my pocket. And guess what it does for you? All the way down at the bottom, here's my IRR, 23%. No brainer for me. I can buy a property, I can rent it out and make 23% of my money. And what's even better, guys, is this is what we created on the right side. You can vary these right now to get live changes. So let's say I want to pay, instead of 1.925, I pay 1.6. My return goes to 28.59. If I want to pay more, I pay 2.2. Return goes to 18%. If I want to change years of analysis to 26, boom, goes all the way down to 26. Vacancy rate, I can change that. Instead of 55% vacant, let me assume worst case, 60% vacancy. I still make 17% of my money at 60% vacancy. Let's say I wanted to put more down payment. LTV, I put it down to 65%. My return drops to 19.5, but my cash flows all go up. This is how simple it is. And let's say I like one of these, I can save my changes, boom. Now it's going to be saved on the sliders I did automatically. Not only that, guys, if you go back here to Real Estate Calculator, I can share any one of these files with somebody that I know in my office. Say, hey, take a look at this. It can be read only or they can edit it as well. We made this in-house. We use this every single day. We just went into contract on a $7.5 million property here in Northeast Ohio, and we closed on a $22 million property in the Louisville submarket, all because of this software. I use it every day. It's awesome. It's absolutely accessible for you if you join Everything Money, and even better. So that's of interest to you. Please go to everythingmoney.com/signup. Go check it out. We have a great offer of $7 for 7 days to try it out. Thank you very much for your time.